Hey guys, what's going on? So I posted a video doing some night shooting with this particular rifle, and I wanted to do another video giving some of the specs, kind of going over the way I've got it set up, and then doing some more shooting in the daytime. On the nighttime video, I wasn't running the can at the time. This is a YHM Phantom LT or light tactical. Sometimes I run it on there, sometimes I don't. If I'm just kind of casually plinking in the yard, I won't run it just because it dirties up the gun a little faster, and I don't really like to clean. So if I can run it without it and it doesn't bother anybody, then I run it without it. So to give you guys a little overview of the gun, starting here at the front, like I mentioned, the YHM can. This is a Streamlight HLX. It's the 1000 lumen light. I've got it mounted just on a little piece of pick rail, little Magpul polymer pick rail, and then I have the pressure pad mounted up top. Down here on the bottom I've got a hand stop. This is actually, it's a knockoff of a rail scales. I got it on eBay for real cheap. I bought two at the time because they were so cheap. It's actually very well made for being a knockoff. And I can't find them anymore. I think they probably got busted for selling such a close copy, but I got them anyway. So the handguard is a Midwest Industries 15-inch M-lock handguard. I'm a big fan of it. I really like the 15-inch handguard. It lets you mount your stuff further out. Lets you get a better sight radius on your backup sights. Lets me place my light where I like it, out further away and not way out past the muzzle. So anyway, here I'll go ahead and pull this can off. Take a look at the muzzle device. This is just a YHM QD flash hider. It's an older one, you can tell because it's pointed there at the front. I don't really like that. I know the new ones are actually flat on the front, but I've got several of these. They work good. They're a good attachment system. They work fine as a flash hider. I just don't like the fact that they're pointy, because you can't put them in the floorboard of a pickup or something. They'll tear holes in everything they touch. So the sling on here is actually another eBay knockoff item. This is pretty much a straight copy of Magpul's MS4 sling, I believe it is. That's QD. I bought it to try out. So far it's worked pretty good. It's real cheap, but it's just pretty much a straight copy, and you can find those out on eBay if that's something you're interested in. As far as the optic goes, this is a Vortex Strike Eagle 1-6, and it is mounted in a Midwest Industries QD cantilever mount. It's a really solid mount. It's not cheap, but it's really solid, and I like it a lot. The Vortex optic, it works pretty well. The reticle is pretty good. It's a drop type reticle, so it's fairly well calibrated for 223 out of a 16-inch barrel. The magnification ring is a little stiff. That's why I chose to add this little quick throw lever. Without the lever, it's a process to get the magnification changed. So I like the lever. I believe it's something I got on eBay as well. It's not the sturdiest thing ever, but I don't abuse it, so it works good for what I do. The backup sights are Magpul, the polymer flip sights, which I run these on several different guns. I like them well enough. I don't use the backup sights that often, but I like to have them. The charging handle is actually it's one of the Blackhawk latchless handles. It works okay. I tried a couple of them out because they were around that $35 range. They're a lot cheaper than any other AMB handle. The only thing I don't really like is on On this gun and another one that I have it on, you'll feel it come back and hit you in the nose. Sometimes it doesn't stay locked into place and it'll reciprocate with the gun. It doesn't really cause any problems, it's just kind of annoying. Other than that, the buttstock is a BCM. Prior to this, I had one of the Magpul MOE stocks on here, which are fine. I like those okay. The Magpul ones don't have the QD sling swivel, which I like, and it's a little looser. The BCM stock fits real tight, locks up very nice, and I like that a lot better than the Magpul one. As I mentioned, I'm a lefty, so I've got an ambi safety selector. I believe that's something, I believe I got this one on Midway. It's one of their AR Stoner house brand safeties. It seems to work fine. The lower is an Aero Precision. I've built quite a few guns on these Aero lowers, and what I really like about them is they have this bevel in the magwell. Just aids reloads a little bit, and there's no reason not to do it in my view, other than trying to maintain the mil spec, which if it's better, it's better. The upper and the barrel are actually a Palmetto upper receiver. Yep. And it's a 16-inch nitrided barrel. I bought one of the kits from Palmetto that came with just a plastic handguard and the triangle front sight because I wanted a pinned gas block. So I just cut the front sight block off, or I cut the front sight post off and ground down the gas block so I could have a pinned gas block. But then the upper receiver, the barrel, the bolt carrier group, and the lower parts kit are Palmetto. And this is their, you can see this is their enhanced polished trigger. I like these a lot. They're a significant improvement over a regular mil-spec trigger in my mind, and they don't really cost much extra if you buy it as part of the kit. Another thing I'll point out about the Aero lower that I really like is right in here. There's a little nylon screw, and that's used to help tension the upper receiver to the lower receiver. So if you have some slop in there, you can tension that nylon screw up and mate those up better and take any of that slop out, which I really like that. So that's the gun. We'll go outside and do a little bit of shooting, and that'll be a wrap. Okay, so here we are on the range. I'm gonna try to make this quick. It's cold, it's windy, and we got a little bit of wintry mix precipitation falling down here, if you can see it. But I'm just gonna run a couple of mags through this gun and shoot a little bit of steel and paper up close here. And one thing I like to do, especially when I'm running a silencer on an AR, is I shoot a bunch of this Tula steel case stuff, but I like to follow it up with at least one mag of 10 or 15 or 20 rounds of brass, because the brass case really helps to clean out the chamber. The carbon kind of sticks to the brass cases, so after you run a bunch of steel and then you run a magazine of brass through, you'll notice all those cases on the ground are pretty much totally black when you're running a silencer. So that's the reason I run brass after steel, but I still shoot steel. I know some people don't like it, but it runs fine in all my guns. It's real cheap, and I like cheap. So another thing I'll mention here is the I think in the night shooting video I pointed this out, but it probably wasn't very clear, is that I've got targets set up here for pistol and rifle. All the orange targets are my AR-500 rifle rated steel. These two on the little hangers, and then one of the smaller ones on the fence over here, are half-inch AR-500. That's the reason I shoot these so close, is that they're thicker and they don't seem to get as banged up. It still pits them a little bit, but if they get too bad, I'll just replace them. I'd rather be able to shoot up close than have to baby my target, so that's why I do it this way. But anyway, we're gonna run a couple mags through and have a little fun.